Order number 3, election of the Speaker.
Honorable members, before I allow you to make any points of order, please allow me to make a short communication and then we proceed. Honorable members, at this point, I wish to stipulate the procedure that will apply today for the election of the Speaker as follows. Article 106(2)(a) of the Constitution of Kenya provides that the office of the Speaker shall become vacant when a new House of Parliament first meets after a general election. In this regard, the office of the Speaker of the National Assembly became vacant at the commencement of today's sitting, being the first sitting of a new House of Parliament after the general election. Honorable members, Standing Order number 4 provides that a Speaker shall be elected when the House first meets after a general election and before the House proceeds with the dispatch of any other business, except the administration of oath or affirmation of office to members elect present. In accordance with the provisions of the National Assembly Standing Orders, the following procedural requirements ought to be fulfilled before the election of the Speaker is conducted. 1. Standing Order 5(1)(a) requires the clerk to notify the public of a vacancy in the office of the Speaker of the National Assembly by notice in the Gazette and to invite interested persons to submit their nomination papers for election to the office of the Speaker. In this regard, honorable members, I did notify the public and invite interested persons to submit nomination papers for election to the office of the Speaker via Gazette Notice number 10529 dated 5th September 2022. Further, honorable members, on the 6th of September 2022, I did publicize the declaration of vacancy by advertisement in 3 local dailies of nationwide circulation and also extended the invitation to interested persons to submit their nomination papers for the election to the office of the Speaker of the National Assembly. Number 2, Standing Order 5(1)(b) requires a clerk to also designate the place and period for receipt of nomination papers. In this regard, honorable members, I appointed Wednesday, 7th September 2022 as the day for receipt of nomination papers and designated the place for the receipt of the papers. Further, in keeping with the requirements of Standing Order 5(4), I also maintained a register for purpose of collection and receipt of nomination papers. And 3, pursuant to Standing Order 5(5), immediately upon the close of the nomination period last evening, I publicized and made available to all members-elect a list showing all qualified candidates for election to the office of the Speaker of the National Assembly. Copies of the curriculum vitae and of all qualified candidates were also availed. Honorable members, the following 37 persons collected nomination papers from my office between Monday, 5th September 2022 at 2:30 p.m. and Wednesday, 7th September 2022 at 12:30 p.m. 1. Isaac Aluoch Polo Aluocher. 2. Jared Oluoch Oudo. 3. Dr. Noah Winja. 4. Moses Masika Wetangula. 5. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. 6. Gideon Kiplangat Cheruyot. 7. Gilbert Kimngetich. 8. David Mwaure Wahiga. 9. Daniel Wanyonyi Opilo. 10. Timothy Ayeko Olingo. 11. Marshall Mungare. 12. William Washira Mwaniki. 13. Isaac Wangengi Wainaina. 14. Samuel Nyachwaya Nyamao. 15. Kevin Mabeta Nyamari. 16. Dorothy Kemunto Nyangori. 17. Matthew Eric Deya Okongo. 18. Orina Jepnei Nyakwama. 19. Joshua Boit. 20. Dhangeta Frederick Mukaria. 21. Dr. Mbi Kavindu. 22. Peter O. Nyananga. 23. Jinan Zioki Biuva. 24. Omari Dambi. 25. Samuel Mwangangi Zamalu. 26. Stanley Muindi Masai. 27. Kenneth Otiato Marende. 28. Miriti Joseph Mulindo. 29. George Gitangu Thiongo. 30. David Ikava Mwangangi. 31. Danson Gadhuthi. 32. Nambiswa Brian. 33. Katukoi K. Romanos. 34. Amos Otieno Ochuka. 35. Frederick Otieno Gaya. 36. Gadhi Irungu. 37. Joseph Mijire Gaku. Honorable members, by the close of the nomination period on Wednesday, 7th September 2022 at 8:30 p.m., the following 19 persons had returned to the clerk their respective nomination papers for election as Speaker of the National Assembly. 1. Dr. Noah Winja. 2. Moses Masika Wetangula. 3. Gideon Kiplangat Cheruyot. 4. Timothy Ayeko Olingo. 5. Marshall Mungare. 6. William Washira Mwaniki. 7. Isaac Wangengi Wainaina. 8. Kevin Mabeta Nyamira. 9. Dorothy Kemunto Nyangori. 10. Matthew Eric Deya Okongo. 11. Joshua Kipkemoi Boit. 12. Dhangeta Frederick Mukaria. 13. Dr. Mbi Augustine Kavindu. 14. Jinan Zioki Mbiuva. 15. Samuel Mwangangi Zamalu. 16. Kenneth Otiato Marende. 17. Josh Gitangu Thiongo. 19. David Ikava Mwangangi. 19. Danson Gadhuthi Karaya. Honorable members, I wish to also notify the House that I also received a letter from one Mr. Omar Dambi, dated 7th September 2022, withdrawing his candidature for election as the Speaker of the National Assembly. Additionally, honorable members, I wish to report that Mr. Isaac Aluoch Polo Aluochir, one of the persons who collected nomination papers, did not return the completed form. However, he did appear before the clerk and verbally withdrew his candidature. Further, honorable members, the following 15 persons who returned their nomination papers did not qualify as candidates for election as Speaker of the National Assembly, as their nomination papers were not accompanied by names and signatures of 20 members in support of their respective candidates as required by Standing Order 5-3. 1. Dr. Noah Winja. 2. Gideon Kiplangat Cheruyot. 3. Timothy Ayeko Olingo. 4. Marshall Mongare. 5. William Washira Mwaniki. 6. Isaac Wangengi Wainaina. 7. Kevin Mabeta Nyamari. 8. Dorothy Kemunto Nyangori. 9. Joshua Kipkemoi Boit. 10. Dr. Mbi Augustine Kavindu. 11. Jinan Zioki Biuva. 12. Samuel Mwangangi Nzamalu. 13. George Gitangu Thiongo. 14. David Ikavi Mwangangi. And 15. Danson Gathudi Karaya. Honorable members, you will recall that at the close of the nomination period yesterday evening, I did notify honorable members of the 2 candidates qualified to participate in the election of the Speaker of the National Assembly. In my notification, I stated that my office was in the process of verifying the documentation submitted in support of 2 other applicants, namely Mr. Thiangeta Frederick Mukaria and Mr. Okongo Matthew Eric Dare. Honorable members, I wish to inform the House that verification of the documents submitted by the 2 applicants against the copies of identification documents are available to my office by the various members purported to have supported the candidature for today's election reviewed glaring anomalies. With regard to the nomination papers returned by Mr. Thiangeta Frederick Mukaria, it was noted that the Kenya National Identification numbers purported to appended to the names of several honorable members are at variance with the information officially available by honorable members to Parliament as part of their biodata. Similarly, honorable members, it was noted that the nomination papers returned by Mr. Okongo Matthew Eric Dare appended signatures purported to belong to several members that did not tally with the signatures recognized by my office from the biodata forms signed by the affected members. Indeed, I have today since received written complaints from a number of the affected members regarding falsification of their support to the 2 candidates. In particular, honorable members have disowned their purported endorsement of the said candidates. As at the time of this communication, I have on record formal protests from the following members: the Honorable Kimani Ichung'wa, the Honorable Beatrice Adagala, the Honorable Mohammed Ali Mohammed, the Honorable Mary Wamaua, the Honorable John Mutunga, the Honorable Githua Wamushukuru, the Honorable Samuel Moroto, the Honorable Dr. Robert Pukose, the Honorable Jen Kihara, the Honorable Julius Meli, the Honorable Wajiku Muhia, the Honorable Charity Kadhambi, the Honorable Paul Mwirigi, and the Honorable David Ikaria. Honorable members, in light of the above cited anomalies and the formal protests received from members, I have disqualified the 2 persons from contesting in the election for the Speaker scheduled for today, 8th September 2022. Cognizant of the fact that the willful submission of documents containing misleading, falsified, or fraudulent information for use in proceedings of a very crucial nature by this House may constitute a criminal offense, I have formally requested the Directorate of Criminal Investigations to investigate the circumstances under which the documents were submitted and take appropriate steps thereafter. Honorable members, pursuant to the provisions of Article 106 of the Constitution and Standing Order number 5 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, out of the 19 persons who completed and returned their nomination papers, the following 2 persons qualified as candidates for elections as Speaker of the National Assembly. 1. Kenneth Otiato Marende. 2. Moses Masika Wetangula. Honorable members, Standing Order 6 provides as follows regarding the voting procedure where more than one candidate qualifies to stand for election as the Speaker. 1. The election of the Speaker shall be by secret ballot. 2. The clerk shall at the commencement of each ballot cause the ballot box, empty and unlocked, to be displayed to the House, and shall, in the presence of the House, lock the box, which shall thereafter be kept in the full view of the House until the conclusion of the ballot. Honorable members, we shall shortly proceed to issue ballot papers to you, which will be issued by officers to each member in the manner I will guide. And so, when your name is called, you will receive 1 ballot paper at the table and proceed to the voting booth. Mark your ballot paper and proceed to cast your vote. For clarity, honorable members, a member who wishes to vote shall mark his or her ballot paper by placing a visible mark in the box provided for beside the name of the preferred candidate as a member wishes to vote for. Thereafter, the member should fold the marked ballot paper before leaving the booth and deposit the folded ballot paper in the ballot box. A member who in the process of voting has marked his or her paper in error may, by returning it to the clerk, obtain another ballot paper in its place. The initial ballot paper marked in error shall be marked cancelled and destroyed by the clerk. Honorable members, when it appears to the clerk that all members who are present in the House and who wish to vote have voted and deposited their ballot papers in the ballot box, the clerk shall unlock the box, examine the ballot papers, and having rejected those unmarked or spoiled, report to the House the result of the ballot. May I also notify you, honorable members, that after the clerk has unlocked the ballot box, a member who has not already recorded his or her vote shall not be entitled to do so. The verification and counting of ballots shall take place in the presence of members appointed as agents or representatives by the candidates. For clarity, each candidate is allowed a maximum of 1 agent or representative for the purpose of the ballot. Honorable members, in line with the requirements of Standing Order 7.1, a person shall not be elected as Speaker unless supported by votes of 2/3 of all honorable members. The House is reminded that this 2/3 threshold is not a constitutional requirement, but a procedural step to ease the election of a Speaker on the first round of the ballot. The procedural threshold applies only to the first round of voting and does not affect the quorum required for the commencement and continuation of the sitting and the election. Honorable members, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 7.2, in the event that no candidate is supported by the votes of 2/3 of all members at the first round of voting, the candidate who receives the highest number of votes and the candidate who receives the next highest number of votes shall alone stand for election in the next round. The candidate who receives the highest number of votes in the second round shall stand elected Speaker. Honorable members, we have arranged the voting booths next to the dispatch table. There are two booths on each side of the table. Members on my right hand side will cast their ballots in the voting booths placed on the side of their side at the table, and vice versa for the members on my left. Honorable members, before the House proceeds to vote, I wish to remind the House that this particular voting is by secret ballot. Members are not allowed to display their marked ballots to the House or to the galleries. Members from the media are also reminded to observe Rule 3 of the broadcasting rules in the first schedule to the standing orders. And for the avoidance of doubt, the said rule provides as follows, and I quote, "Wide angle shots of the chamber shall be used during voting and division, and no shot shall be taken so as to show the manner in which a member has voted in any secret ballot." Having explained the voting procedure, I now wish to direct the Chief Sanjara Terms to open the ballot box and display it to the honorable members. Honorable members, you have witnessed for yourself that the ballot box is empty. And I now direct the Chief Sanjara Terms to close and lock the ballot box. The next step before we start to call out names for members to come and vote is to inquire of the House of any member designated by the candidates as their agent or representative, which is strictly one agent or representative per candidate. If any, I request them to step forward and approach the table so that we can proceed. Honorable members, who is for Honorable Marende? Okay. Okay. So the Honorable TJ Kajwang. And who is for the Honorable Wetangula? The Honorable Dr. Pukose. Okay. Now, honorable members,
we have legitimate issues and interventions to make. You said that after this you are going to call
Honorable members,
Those people that will sit down. Sit down.
members, please be seated so that I can guide the House. Just be seated. Take your seats. Take your seats, honorable members. I want to guide the House. I will allow a few interventions from the members before we proceed to the ballot. And I will now allow the Honorable TJ Kajuang to yes. Yeah, I will give you. I will invite you. Just be patient.
Thank you, Madam Returning Officer. And first of all, because this is the first time we are interacting with the table, we want to thank you for preparing elaborately this House to enable to accommodate all of us. I have a constitutional fundamental issue to raise. And members who have been here before and members who are joining us for the first time, this is a debating chamber. And we'll be here for 5 years. And so all the issues that need to be spoken, which the nation needs to know, should be spoken, because that is why we have come, and that is why we took off to present these issues. And so I raise a constitutional fundamental issue on the candidate on the table, which is number 4, Honorable Senator Moses Wetangula, touching, Madam Returning Officer. I am sure that when members will keep quiet and listen, they will be able to follow me and be able to respond. And all those issues can be responded to in a very civilized manner. Whether that candidate is legible as a candidate for Speaker. Madam Returning Officer, under the Constitution, Article 103, as read with Article 106, mandates that a person is qualified if that person is not a member of this House, and if he's a member of the other House, he has submitted his resignation to the Speaker. No, just give me time. You are an old man. You are an old man. No, don't say so. Use parliamentary words to me. Now, Madam Returning Officer, as much as I've been able to check out, the member who is number 4 is actually an elected senator of the other House. Now, if he is elected member of the other House, he ought to have presented this resignation to the Speaker. I have learned reliably that that person presented this resignation letter on 9th of August to the Speaker, allegedly to the Speaker of that House. Now, if you look at Article 10, when you look at allow me, order. Order. A day after the elections. I'm explaining myself, please. Now, the Speaker to whom he allegedly delivered his resignation letter was already an elected governor. It means according to the Constitution, 103 says that the term expires on 102 at the date of the general election. The term of this house and the term of the other house expired on 8th, not on 9th. The term of the Speaker of that house expired at that time when that person was elected as governor. It means that on 9th, there was no Speaker to whom the candidate would have given his election papers. So the fact of the matter is that if you have an office without a substantive holder thereof, then that office is no office. So if, as I am reliably informed, that he tendered his resignation to an office without the substantive member being, the substantive holder of that office being validly in that office, then he resigned to no Speaker. I ask you, Madam Returning Officer, because this is a very, it is not, no, he's a returning officer. By law, he's a returning officer. That is what he is, yes? This is an issue which is not only important to us, but important to all those other candidates who have a valid, some of them who are not in this house, who have a valid responsibility to ask. The last one, and this may draw a lot of protestation from somebody who does not like my thinking, and in this house, we must not like each other's thinking. The same person that is the candidate, there is a valid resolution of this house. There is a valid resolution of this house, which in record, saying that that particular person is not eligible to hold a public office in Kenya. Madam Returning Officer, this is a house of records. This is a house of records. There is a resolution of this house, passed by this house, implementable by this house, that the person should not hold a public office arising out of matters concerning integrity. So in both those grounds, I ask you, Returning Officer, to find that one Moses Wetangula is not eligible to be a candidate for the Speaker of this House. I thank you so much. Speaking in this House is very easy.
Honorable members, I will now allow the Honorable Ichung'wah to raise his point of order.
Thank you, Honorable Clerk. And let me just begin by thanking the Honorable TJ Kajwang for that point of order. Although unfortunately, Honorable Clerk, and I would really beg this 13th Parliament that we allow each other time to be heard, because the Honorable TJ Kajwang has a right to raise whatever issue he wants to raise, and we all have a right to respond, and eventually the presiding officer will probably make a determination. But allow me to just go straight to some of the issues that the Honorable TJ Kajwang has raised. And it is indeed true that one can only be elected as Speaker if you are not a sitting member of Parliament. That includes members of the Senate. But it is also not true what the Honorable TJ Kajwang alleges, that the Honorable Senator Wetangula resigned on the 9th of August. It is indeed preposterous for the Honorable TJ Kajwang to make an allegation in this House that he cannot substantiate by way probably of tabling a copy of that letter that he purports the Honorable Senator Wetangula resigned on the 9th of August. It is also in my Honorable Clerk that the Honorable Moses Wetangula indeed resigned 2 days after the gazettement of senators by IEBC in the Kenya Gazette. And those are facts. And I want to believe, Madam Clerk, that in your office, you have a copy of that letter, which the Honorable TJ Kajwang does not have. What he's purporting here can only be equated to what they said was opaque. Honorable Speaker, it is also not true that indeed when the Constitution that the Honorable TJ Kajwang is quoting says that the term of the 12th Parliament ended on the 8th of August. It is true for the Honorable TJ Kajwang and myself and the Honorable Senator Wetangula, who was a senator in the 12th Parliament. But the office of the Speaker exists in perpetuity. And until another Speaker, today as we speak, Madam Clerk, Speaker J.B. Muturi is still the Speaker of the National Assembly until a new Speaker is elected this afternoon. Honorable Speaker, what's the Honorable TJ Kajwang, and he knows because he's a seasoned lawyer, he knows what he's telling the country on live television as a lawyer is not true, because the Speaker's office exists into perpetuity, and it will until and unless we elect a new Speaker. Speaker J.B. Muturi remains in office. In fact, as we speak, TJ Kajwang, you know Speaker Muturi is seated in his office and transacting business. Indeed, Honorable Speaker, let me not even belabor that point. Honorable Speaker, I just want to beseech that we do not spend a lot of time arguing things that could be described as rumors, hot air, things that are opaque. And Honorable Speaker, I would beg that you, Honorable Clerk, I would beg that you stick to the rules and procedures of this House and occasion the election of a new Speaker to progress without wasting much time. We saw these shenanigans in Bomas of Kenya. The same people who were in Bomas, some of them are here, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Chair, and I really want to beg that you do direct that we proceed. Thank you, Honorable Clerk.
Honorable members, I will allow 2 more members. I will allow the Honorable Wandai. Yes, it's a different issue. Not about election of Speaker. Okay, then I will allow the Honorable Duale, please.
Honorable Madam Acting Clerk and the Returning Officer. Madam Acting Clerk, and I think I want first to ask the House that it's great to welcome the new members and everybody here in the 13th Parliament. Honorable TJ, and I really want us to listen to each other, and then at the end of the day, we will vote. Honorable TJ raised 2 issues, and Honorable Ichungwa answered 1. Honorable Madam Acting Clerk, I want to refer you to Article 74 of the Constitution. And it says, before assuming a state office, or acting in a state office, or performing any function of a state office, a person shall take and subscribe the oath or affirmation of office in a manner and form prescribed by the 3rd schedule under an Act of Parliament. Madam Acting Clerk and the presiding officer for this afternoon, until this morning, before I took an oath as a member for Garissa Township, I was not a state officer. And in that consequence, the Honorable Moses Masika Wetangula ceased to be the senator for Bungoma on the 9th of August 2022. From the 9th of August to this afternoon, the Honorable Moses Masika, before he submitted his resignation, is a senator-elect. Is a senator-elect. And so is not a state officer. And in that consequences, Madam Acting Clerk, in fact, my submission to you is that based on Article 74 of the Constitution, and that you become a state officer on the basis when you take an oath or an affirmation, Honorable Moses Wetangula, Senator-elect, was not under any legal or constitutional obligation even to resign. Resign from what? Resign from what? Because he is not a state officer. Two, Madam Speaker, and that is based on Article 74 of this Constitution. Two, Madam Speaker, the Honorable TJ has raised a report, an advance report of this House, a resolution of this House that indicted Senator-elect and the candidate of this afternoon. Madam Acting Clerk, I want to prove to you that I had the privilege and to be a member of that 10th Parliament, in which Honorable TJ Kajwang was not a member. And that report was done by the Defense and Foreign Relations Committee, in which a ranking member was the chair, the Honorable Eden Kainan. And based on that report, the Honorable Moses Wetangula stepped aside. Madam Acting Clerk, you know resolutions of this House is always based on further investigation by other agencies within the criminal justice system. That this House doesn't have the tools and the equipment to do a serious investigation. So the resolution of this House was sent to other bodies, the way we do, to the DCI, to the Auditor General, to the AACC. And I want to confirm that those agencies have cleared Moses Masika Wetangula and President Kibaki reappointed Moses Wetangula back to his ministerial position. So, Madam Speaker, facts speak for themselves. And Mr. Speaker, let us not use the law selectively. Speaker, we need to vote. Today, we have an opportunity, Madam Speaker. All of us sitting here, apart from the nominated members, we have been dealing with the voters. But today, we are voters ourselves. And we must exercise our constitutional right as 349 members. The law is very clear. Even if, and I want to challenge, even if Moses Masika Wetangula did not resign and did not brought you a resignation letter based on Article 74 of the Constitution, the Honorable Moses Wetangula is not a senator of the 13th Senate, of the 3rd Senate, because he has not taken the oath of office. And the moment all of us took an oath of office this afternoon, from morning, we now become state officers, so that you can resign. So, Madam Speaker, let us not have a debate. Let us give chance. These members have an opportunity. They have a constitutional right. Madam Acting Speaker, we have a very daunting task ahead of us. So that report was not tabled. I think myself, Honorable Bandi, Honorable Kainan, there are very few of us who are in the 10th Parliament who know that report. So let us, those who want to vote for Kenneth Marende, I have served under him as a speaker. Those who want to vote for Moses Masika Wetangula, they will vote for him. Let us stop the shenanigans and sideshows. Like the Senate, let us go and have a speaker so that next week we go to orientation and we start implementing the Kenya Kwanza Hustler Fund as fast as possible.
Honorable members, before I rule, it is only fair that I have given 3 members on this side to speak. I will give 3 members on this side to speak. You okay? You okay? Okay. Okay then. I will allow the Honorable Bandi, please. Let me give the Honorable Bandi.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Officer. Madam Presiding Officer, allow me also she's presiding over the elections. She may be returning officer. I don't know whether she was gazetted or she gazetted herself. But I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate all members who have made it to the 13th Parliament. I know it was not easy, but having said that, allow me just to say one thing. Madam Presiding Officer, this matter, I think, even if it may not be resolved today and we'll proceed and vote, it is something that the people of Kenya need to look at. At what point would an elected member be considered a member of Parliament? By the time, that is your opinion, let me speak my opinion. I'm intelligent enough. Assuming office is not the same thing as being elected. The moment the returning officer in your electoral area pronounces you as elected, it is only the court of law. It is only the court of law which can reverse that decision, whether you take oath of office or you don't take oath of office. Once you have been elected, pronounced as such, gazetted in the Kenya Gazette, as a senator, you become a senator-elect. Whether there is elect after your name or the senator, it is still there. So this is a matter that cannot just be wished away. In fact, I think the people of Kenya made a mistake when we passed this constitution. There is a law, when you look at the constitution, just a minute. When you look at the constitution, Madam Presiding Officer, the constitution speaks to no one can be a member of Parliament if you are a state officer, but goes ahead to exempt serving members of Parliament from running. Now the same should have happened. I don't see why a sitting member of National Assembly cannot run for the office of the Speaker and resign after being elected. That is what happened in 2008 when Kenneth Otiato Marende was the MP for Emuhaya. So if something is wrong with our laws, we need to accept it. Let us not speak, just take sides. You took an oath just a few minutes ago to protect this constitution. There is a problem in the constitution. We need to fix it. But as it is today, there is gray area. And therefore, Madam Presiding Officer, whether you let Honorable Moses Wetangula run or not, the people of Kenya will have to deal with the elephant in the room, that there is a problem with that provision of the law requiring even sitting members of Parliament to resign before they become the Speaker of either House of Parliament. I submit my case.
Let us vote.
Let's vote.
Thank you very much, Acting Clerk. I'd like to thank you. And I'd just like to say that I believe in freedom of speech. But I just want to raise, Madam Clerk, pursuant to Standing Order number 83, as read together with Standing Order number 107. I'm very surprised that you've been allowing people who have been in this house for some time just to rise on points of order based on no particular order. You know, you know, like my very good friend, Honorable Mbadi, I respect him a lot, but he just rose on no point of order. But you know, there was no debate. There's no debate. There is no bill. There is no bill in the House, Madam Acting Clerk. I would like to say this. One, Madam Clerk, you have issued a statement. My very good friend, the Honorable TJ Kajwang, who is a lawyer like myself, he knows that once you have issued a statement, your statement is either factual, in accordance with this House and standing orders and the Constitution, or he gives further information that he has. But he cannot bring third-rate hearsay into this House to challenge your statement. You know, your statement cannot be challenged on the basis of what somebody has heard. You must produce documentary evidence to countenance your statement. In the absence of that, Madam Clerk, you should rule everybody out of order. May I read, Madam Clerk? According to Standing Order 107, a member commits an act of disorderly conduct of that member if he deliberately gives false information to the House. We were told that Senator Moses Wetangula resigned on the 9th of August. That information has not been given to us here. And you just allowed that member just to sit. And he's a very senior member in the bench, of the bar. And I have a lot of respect for him. My submission, Kura tutapiga, where we are going to vote. My submission, Madam Clerk, in the absence of any documentary evidence contrary to your statement, I submit that we vote. Thank you.
Honorable members, I would like to respond to the issues that have been raised. Yeah. So members, if you could be silent, I will respond on the matters that have been raised concerning one of the candidates who is standing for election. And I want to respond as follows, generally, especially on the matters that have been raised by the Honorable TJ Kajwang, who has asked a question about a person who is elected as a member of parliament, and in this case, a senator, whether this senator is eligible for election as a speaker. And I have also listened to the various submissions on the matter by the members who have spoken from both sides of the House. I have also looked at the relevant provisions of the Constitution and the law, and I now wish to communicate my findings on this matter. Honorable members, Article 106(1)(a) of the Constitution provides that there shall be a Speaker of each Parliament who shall be elected by the House in accordance with the standing orders from among persons who are qualified to be elected members of Parliament but are not such members. The relevant qualification for election as a member of Parliament are set out in Article 99(1)(a) and (b) of the Constitution. That is, that the person is registered as a voter and also has satisfied any educational, moral, and ethical requirements prescribed by the Constitution or by an Act of Parliament. Additionally, Article 99(2) provides that a person is disqualified from being elected a member of Parliament if that person is a state officer or a public officer other than a member of Parliament, has at any time within the 5 years immediately preceding the date of election held office as a member of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, has not been a citizen of Kenya for at least the 10 years immediately preceding the date of the election, is a member of a county assembly, is of unsound mind, is an undischarged bankrupt, is subject to a sentence of imprisonment of at least 6 months as at the date of registration as a candidate or at the date of election, or is found in accordance with any law to have misused or abused a state or public office, or in any way to have contravened the provisions of Chapter 6 of the Constitution. Honorable members, let me just go through my finding. First thing I would want to say about the issues that have been raised by members is that on the 5th of September, after the candidate submitted his nomination papers, the candidate in question, pursuant to Standing Order 5 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I did write to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission seeking confirmation as to whether this particular candidate is qualified to be elected as a member of parliament under Article 99 of the Constitution, and whether or not is such a member. In a letter dated 6th, please just listen. In a letter dated 6 September 2022, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission wrote back to me, confirming that pursuant to Article 99 of the Constitution and Section 24 of the Election Act, number 24 of 2011, Moses Masika Wetangula is a registered voter. Fact number 00 105 121 119 09 45 11 in Kambuchai constituency. And the independent and the IEBC indicated that he is duly qualified to contest for election as Speaker of the National Assembly. Honorable members, as you all know, the IEBC is a body established by Article 88 of the Constitution of Kenya and charged with the registration of voters and registration of candidates for election. So the determination by the Commission is formally on record in my office. Secondly, honorable members, now allow me to draw you to Article 74 of the Constitution, which the Honorable Duale has made reference to, and which provides that before assuming office or a state office, acting in a state office or performing any functions of a state office, a person shall take and subscribe the oath or affirmation of office in the manner and form prescribed by the third schedule or under an act of parliament. It should also be noted that the third schedule to the Constitution sets out various forms of national oaths of affirmation for state officers, including the one for members of parliament. Honorable members, a comparative glance, even at jurisdictions elsewhere in the world, and I would like to quote the United Kingdom, a member of parliament is not deemed to be a member until that person has taken the required oath of office. In the United Kingdom, honorable members, members of both houses of parliament are required by law to take an oath of allegiance to the crown, and MPs cannot take their seat, speak in debates or vote or receive a salary until they have taken oath or affirmation. In fact, in the UK, the seats could be declared vacant if you make such a mistake. And in the United States of America, the Constitution also requires members of the Congress to take and to be bound by an oath of office of affirmation as such. So members usually take the oath before they have assumed office. In view of the stated provisions of Article 74 of the Constitution, members, it is clear that a person who has been elected to serve as a member of parliament retains his status as a member of the public until they assume office as a member of parliament by taking or subscribing to the oath or affirmation of a member of parliament as set out in the third schedule to the Constitution. And lastly, honorable members, let me finish. In any event, even if we were to overlook the provisions of Article 74 of the Constitution relating to the assumption of office, as I have enumerated, and argued that there was need for the senator to resign from office, may I now confirm that I am in receipt of a letter dated 29th August, written by the Honorable Moses Masika Wetangula, addressed to the Speaker of the Senate, in which he communicated in writing to the Speaker of the Senate his decision to resign from his position as a senator-elect for Bungoma. Now, this letter is addressed to the office of the Speaker of the Senate, which by virtue of the provisions of Article 106(1)(2) only became vacant when the new Senate first met today. So the spirit of the Constitution espoused under Article 103(1)(c) is that the seat automatically becomes vacant upon receipt of the resignation of a letter, and there is no corresponding obligation imposed on the Speaker to accept or decline the resignation. Therefore, honorable members, in the present circumstances, and guided by the provisions of Article 74 of the Constitution, and the letters from the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, and from the Honorable Moses Wetangula, I have satisfied myself that the Honorable Moses Masika Wetangula is qualified for election as the Speaker of the National Assembly. The House is accordingly guided. Honorable members, I would like us now to proceed. I would like us to proceed now to start the process of voting. And I now invite the Deputy Clerk to call out the names, after which, when your name is called, you will be issued with a ballot paper, and we shall proceed with voting. Thank you.
Duale Adan Bare. The people with disabilities. Ngongo John Badi.
Ita huyo mwingine. Umemwita Badi?
Mwita Badi. Mwita Badi dole. Mwita. Maalim Farah. disabilities. Mumo Rose Museo, Wetangula Timothy Wanyonyi, Lomwa Joseph Samal.
It's a must that somebody gets you card round one. Sure. Then we will go to round two.
Sir, use this one. The other one is not audible.
Honorable members, I will allow the clerks to take the papers to the members with disability, please. That is the Honorable Lomwa Joseph Samal, the Honorable Masara Peter Francis, and the Honorable Koskei Jackson, and also the Honorable Mumo Rose Museo.
Chumuel Samuel Moroto, Rai Samuel Gonzi, Welie Adan Keinan. Ahmed Shakil Ahmed Shabir, Hassan Abdi Yusuf, Kiunjuru Festus Mwangi, Lokuton Joseph. Mbiuki Jafet Miriki Kareke, Odhiambo Mili Grace Akot, Sirma Musa Cherutich, Wanjala Rafael Sauti Bita. Abdul Rahim Dawood, Arama Samuel, Aramat Lemanken, Badi Twalib. Bowen David Kagongo, Chege Sabina Wanjiru, Chepkonga Kiprono Samuel, Chesebe Fred Kapondi. Francis Kajwang Tom Joseph, Gakuya James Mwangi, Gikaria David, Gimose Charles Gumini. Ichungwa Anthony Kimani, Injendi Moses Malulu, Kaluma George Peter Opondo, Kanchori Elijah Memusi. Kiaraho David Njuguna, Kihara Jane Wanjiru Njeri, Kingola Patrick Makau, Kibuot Julius Meli, Kipiogon Johanna Ngeno.
Honorable members, a question has been raised by a member. I just want to give you guidance because a member has raised concern about how to mark the ballot paper. And the standing orders 6 of our National Assembly standing orders provide that you are supposed to mark the ballot paper by placing a mark in the space opposite the name of the candidate. I would urge members to put a tick or an X, but any other mark would be a mark. But put an X or a tick, but just a mark would be sufficient. You will not be disqualified. Yes, yes. Put a mark inside the place provided for you to mark. I would appreciate a tick or an X, but any mark is accepted.
Kombe Harrison Garama, Correres Sara Paulata, Koi John Waluke, Koyo James Onyango, Langat Benjamin Kipkurui, Balu Jessica Nduku Kiko, Boko Mishi Juma Hamisi, Mbui Robert, Mohamed Junaid Sheikh Nur, Mulle Stephen Mutinda. Mulu Makali Benson, Musau Vincent Musioka, Naika Johnson Manya, Nanok Daniel Epuyo, Nyamai Recho Kaki, Nikal James Wambura, Ochieng David Ouma, Odanga Geoffrey Makoha, Oduor Christine Ombaka, Ogola Gideon Ochanda. Owor Joshua Aduma, Kosing David Lesiaku, Pukose Robert, Raso Dido Ali, Robbie Mataz Nyamabe, Shimbwa Omar Munyi, Shinyali Bernard Masaka, Sitati Daniel Wanyama, Sudi Oscar Kipchumba, Sunkuli Julius Lekakenyi.
Unaona walishindwa Senate.
Wahome Alice Mudoni, Wandai James Opio, Wangwe Emmanuel, Wanyonyi Ferdinand Kevin, Cholule Liza Chipkorir, Lesuda Josephine Naisula, Wanjira Martha Wangari, Aburi Lawrence Mpuru, Muhia Wanjiku. Oundo Wilberforce Odiambo, Abdullahi Bashir Sheikh, Adagala Beatrice Kahai, Akuja Protas Ewasit, Alpha Miruka Ondieki, Amolo Paul Otiende, Atandi Samuel Onunga, Badar Salim Faisal, Baya Owen Ya, Bedzimba Rashid Juma, Buyu Rosa Akinyi. Chege John Kiragu, Chepkoni Charity Katambi, Gachobe Samuel Kinudia, Gatiru Benjamin, Gitari Joseph Gachoki, Gitau Faith Wairimu, Gidinji Robert Gichimu, George Macharia Karaoke, Gogo Lilian Achieng, Guyo Ali Wario.
Another batch of 10.
Jeho Fatuma Abdi, Hassan Kulo Maalim, Hiribae Said Buya, Kagesi Kivai Ogesi, Kahangara Joseph Mburu, Kalasinga Joseph Simiu Wekesa Majimbo, Kamene Joyce, Kamuren Charles, Kandie Joseph Chebiogon, Karani Stephen Washira.
Already have a minute. 240. Tunaenda tu second round. Alafu 340 also has not been sworn in. Lakini hapa pick up 340 not sworn in. 2 Bidu Mohammed. She was not sworn in. Bidu. 340. Bana yuko ni mbali, mtu mwingine tunaongea. Ngoja.
Nimefika hapo.
Ngoja. Hao wako wengi sana.
Number 49 mbona nimeitwa?
Naika 49. Uliitwa.
Niliitwa. Nenda tu upige.
Ingia tu pale. 49. Nimekuita.
Karemba Eric Muchangi, Kasalu Irene Modoni, Kasait William Kamket, Katana Paul Kahindi, Kemei Justice Kipsang, Kemero Maisori Marwa, Kimani Francis Kuria, Kimulu Joseph Kivinda, Kingara Simon Nganga, Kirima Moses Buchine, Kitty Richard Ken Chonga.
But I realized this one is different. It's different. To be Bidu Mohammed. Around 340 or 341. That is that one was sworn in. One has not been sworn in. It's 340 also. I don't know why. It's the same number. This one, yeah. not sworn in. Hapa umefika 121.
Koech Nelson, Kosgei Hilary Kiplangat, Kwenya Duku Zakari, Jackson Leku Montare, Peter Lochakapong, Luyai Kalebamisi, Mawade Julius Musili, Bai Nimrod Bituka, Mizigi Lydia Haika, Mohammed Ali. Momanyi Innocent Obitu, Mongina Jerusha Momanyi, Mushira Michael Mwangi, Muhanda Elsie, Muiruri Mudama Stanley, Muhwana Titus Hamala, Muli Fabian Kule, Muliung Gideon Mutemi, Murugara George Gitonga, Rindikiri Mugambi.
The only people who are there are the ones who are voting. Now, agents. I don't know whether you can get Kajua ni agent. No, we are almost there. We are almost there. We are almost there.
Members, please,
Mutua Didima.
I would like to request the members who have voted to clear the voting area so that we are able to allow other members to vote. Thank you. Members, please, once you have voted, clear the voting area to allow other members to vote. Thank you.
Mutua Didimas Wekesa Barasa, Mutunga John, Mwakuona Danson, Mwale Nicholas Tindi, Mwalika David Mboni, Mwanyanje Gertrude Mbeyu, Mwirigi John Paul, Nabulindo Peter Oscar, Ndungu George, Nganga Alice Wambui.
surname is not Mikau. His surname is not Mikau.
Ngikolong Nicholas, Nguna Charles Ngusia, Joroge Mary Wamaua, Ntwiga Patrick Munene, Nyamita Mark Ogola, Nyamoko Joash Nyamache, Nyenze Edith Veti, Nyoro Samsung Ndindi, Zamba Tadeas Kidua, Nzengu Paul Musimi.
Which number? Oh. Hiyo ndio tayari. Shida sana. So you note there. No, nasema tutanote kwa boss Shule that she has voted. But has she? Lakini utazoma tu. Utazoma tu because they are crossing. So she cannot vote twice. Yeah. I think you can pour another note. Yeah. Another one.
Ndioka Erastus Kivasu, Obare Eve Akinyi, Obo Ruwaida Mohammed, Odege Tom Boya, Odiambo Elisha Ochieng, Odoyo Okelo Jared, Oku Edward Kaunya, Okwame Andrew Adipo, Oluosh Anthony Tom, Omboko Milemba Jeremiah.
Choka utasema. Eh?
Omwera George Aladwa, Ongili Babu Owino, Onyego Silvanas Osoro, Otucho Mary Emase, Owino John Walter, Owino Martin Peter, Oyula Joseph Maero, Pasaris Esther Modoni, Paul Abuor, Risa Sankuya George. Sane Ibrahim Abdi, Sholei Gladys Bose, Shurie Abdi Omar, Sitienei Janet Jepkomboy, Tandaza Kasim Sawa, Tongoyo Gabriel Koshal, Tonui Joseph Kipkoske, Washira Rahab Mukami, Wamasukuru James Gidua. Wambilianga Catherine Nanjala, Wamuchomba Gadoni, Wangaya Christopher Aseka, Wanjiku John Juguna, Waweru John Kiarie, Were Charles Ongondo, Yegon Brighton Leonard, Yusuf Adan Haji, Elachi Beatrice, wa Naomi Jilo. Sagon Florence Jematia, Abdi Ali, Abdi Hamis, Abdirahman Hussein Mohammed, Abdirahman Mohammed Abdi, Abdullahi Amina Dika, Aburi Donya Doris, Ado Mohammed Adan, Ali Abdisarat Khalif, Barasa Patrick Simiu, Barongo Nolfason Obadia.
No, Likuita ni vile, I think it was consultations allowed. Sijafika? Ndai? But is a ranking member?
Going back to, do you know that even the order? Just a minute.
Ile ingine tulifunga.
Bare Hussein Abdi, Bato Phyllis Jepkemoi, Basil Robert Ngui, Diego Paul Kibuchi, Bisau Morris Kakai, Bona Mumina Golo, Busia Ruth Adiambo Odinga, Buire John Okano, Caroline Jepto, Chebor Paul Kibet.
Likuita mheshimiwa 72. 72. Just get him to the line. Yeah, come on.
Cherorot Joseph Kimutai, Chiforomodo Mangale Munga, Chimba Zamzam Mohammed, Denar Joseph Hamisi, Dabolen Pamela Njoki, Emate Joseph, Farah Yusuf Mohammed, Gachagua George N., Gichoi Kagucha John Philip, Gichuki Edwin Mugo, Gisairo Cliff Ombane. Guyo Ade Wario, Hamisi Kakuta Maimai, Haro Abdul Ibrahim, Harun Suleka Hulbale, Ikana Frederick Lusuli, Ikiara Dorothy Modoni, Iraya Joseph Wanaina, Idinji Shadrach Mwiti, Jaldesa Guyo, Jeho Fatuma Abdi. Jihanda Zahia, Kagiri Jane Wangeshi, Kagombe Gabriel Gatuka, Kahugu Eric Mwangi, Kailemia Elizabeth Karambu, Karauri Ronald Kamwiko, Karito Kiili Daniel, Kasiwai Rael Chepkomoi, Kimei Bitis Chepngeno, Kode Felix Odiwar. Kiamba Susan Dunge, Kibagendi Anthony, Kihungi Peter Irungu, Kilel Richard Cheriot, Kipkoech Gideon Kimayo, Kipkoros Joseph Makilap, Kiplagat David, Kipngor Ruben Kiborek, Kiprono Mutai Alfred, Kirwa Abraham Kipsang, Kitani Marien Chebet. Kitilai Olentutu, Kitur Bernard Kibor, Koech Victor Kipngetich, Komingoi Kibet Kirui, Koril Adams Kipsanai, Yakub Ado Kuno, Karuria Elijah Njore Njoroge, Lelmengit Joseph Kipto Koske, Lengarus Pauline. Letipila Dominic Eli, Lynette Chepkorir, Logova Sloya Clement, Titus Loti, Mnaiba Julius Taitumu, Michelle Mohamed Sood, Maina Betinjeri, Maina Jen Jeri, Maina Mwago Amos, Maingi Mary, Makali John Okwisia, Mamwacha Onchoke Charles. Manduku Daniel Ogwoka, Marubu Monica Mudoni, Masito Fatuma Hamisi, Madenge Duncan Maina, Mayaka Irene Nyakerario, Mnyazi Amina Laura, Mogaka Stephen, Mohamed Abdikatir Hussein, Mohamed Adan Daudi, Mohamed Ulmkar Haron. Mohamed Fatuma Zinabu, Moka Nyakundi Jafot, Mrembo Irene Joki, Mugabe Innocent Maino, Muge Cynthia Chepkoskei, Mukunju John Gitonga Moniki, Mulana Geoffrey Ekesa, Mule Caleb Mutiso, Munyoro Joseph Kamau, Mpe Anthony Kenga. Muradha Ann Wanjiku Mugo, Muriu Wakili Edward, Murumba John Chikati, Mutuse Mwengi, Mwafrika Augustine Kamande, Mwalio Joshua Mbiti Mutua, Mwangi Geoffrey Wandeto, Mwangi Teresia Wanjiru, Mwenje Mark Samuel Muriithi, Nabi Nabwera Daraja, Nabuin Paul Ekwom, na Moit John Ariko. Nduyo Susan Ngugi, Nebat Bernard Muriuki, Ngitit Cecilia Asinyen, Nguro Onesmus Ngogoyo, Omanyo Catherine Nahabi, Omondi Karoli, Orero Peter Ochieng, Oron Joshua Odongo, Osero Patrick Kibagendi. Osogo Bensuda Joyce Atieno, Oyugi Dick Maungu, Pareyo Agnes Mantaine, Ruku Geoffrey Karioki Kiringa, Ruto Julius Kipleting, Sakimba Parishina Samuel, Salasia Peter Kalerwa, Sankaire Lea Sopiato, Shake Peter Mbogo, Sheikh Umar Kar Kasim, Sigei Francis Kipiogon Arab. Siad Amina, Siyoi Lilian Chibet, Tonkei Rebecca, Toroitish Timothy Kipchumba, Tungule Charo Kenneth, Wanaina Anthony Njoroge, Wanaina Michael Wambugu, Waidaka John Machua, Wamboka Nelson Jack. Wanyonyi Martin Pepela, Yakub Farah Sala, Yegon Richard Kipkemoi.
She ask them to take their seats.
Honorable members, we are almost coming to the conclusion of the voting. Before we do that, I have received a request from one member, the Honorable Murio Wakili, a member for Gatanga. He has indicated to me that he has spoiled his ballot. I will indulge to be issued with another ballot. I have the ballot that he had already marked, and I will proceed to cancel this ballot. Now I have cancelled it, and I have destroyed it. No, I am not. Yes.
We were not hard on the matter, and I had raised objections on it. Yes.
He has, honorable members, the member has not cast this ballot.
Yes. But he has
so
made
because
a decision. The person has clearly marked the box, and he has not marked two boxes.
Since he has not cast his vote and he has made the request,
look at the standing order.
And he is
the
voting.
Standing order says in error. You have to prove that it is in error. Look at that standing order. Refer to it. No. Ngoja kidogo. I'm doing my work as an agent. Look at that. It means you have to show that it is in error.
Honorable members, to the best of my knowledge, voting is you vote by will. You vote for who you desire to vote for. So I will allow the member to pick another ballot and vote according to his will. Yes.
Now, Ndombi, has that ballot been registered as a spoiled ballot?
Yes.
As a spoiled ballot? So the person is not entitled to a reissue?
No, he has been reissued. In fact, he has voted.
Hii sheria gani sasa nyinyi
He has voted.
hata ya Chebukati si hivyo. If you have spoiled your ballot box, huwezi kupata kura ingine.
But the communication was, if you spoiled, you are reissued with a new one.
Murui Wakili Edward.
Share vote. Huh? The vote. Yes, cast. So, she continue to the next.
Ule share vote.
Yeah, sawa. So, I'm a vote. So we then go to the next. Confirm whether there is.
Honorable members, is there any other member who has not voted and would like to vote? Any other member present in the chamber who has not voted and would like to vote? So, honorable members, it appears to me that the last ballot has been cast. However, if there is any member who has not voted, he or she may now step forward and vote. Is there any? Okay, there is none. So, honorable members, pursuant to Standing Order 6.6, it does therefore appear to me that every member present who wishes to vote has voted. Now, therefore, I invite the two agents, one for each candidate, to come forward and witness the counting.
Witness accounting. Nenda hapa chini.
I see the agents have stepped forward. I now order that the ballot boxes be unlocked for examination of the ballot papers. And I further direct that each ballot paper be examined once the boxes are opened. Officers, please proceed to count and tally the votes.
This is how we'll do it. I'll be picking a ballot paper. I display it. I read out the name. I display it. And then we have two officers who are holding the ballot papers. One is holding for Honorable Marende. The other officer is holding for Honorable Tutangula. We have officers here who are also doing tallying. But at the end, we will also count again, one by one. Is that in order?
That's okay.
Good.
Allow those clerks who are there to tally what
Yes. You tally the totals. Give us your tally.
Yes.
Okay. Moses Masika Wetangula.
Yes.
Right? Who is holding Masikas? You can't be behind. Sit here. So that full view. The other officer should be there also. Moses Wetangula. Kenneth Otiato Marende. Moses Masika Wetangula. Moses Masika Wetangula. Kenneth Otiato Marende. Moses Masika Wetangula. Moses Masika Wetangula. Kenneth Otiato Marende. Wetangula. Marende. 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 Could members kindly clear from here? We only want the officers and the tellers. Members kindly clear from here. Marende. Wetangula. Marende. Wetangula. Marende. Wetangula. Marende. 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 Wetangula. 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 Marende. Wetangula. 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 Marende. Wetangula. Marende. Wetangula. Wetangula. Marende. Wetangula. 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 Please push back a bit. Kindly. Wetangula. Marende. Wetangula. 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 Marende. Wetangula. Marende. Marende. Wetangula. Wetangula. Marende. Wetangula. Wetangula. Marende. Wetangula. 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 Marende. Marende. Wetangula. Wetangula. Marende. Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, 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 Marende, Wetangula, 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 Marende, Wetangula, 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 Marende, Wetangula, Wetangula, Marende, Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, 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 Marende, Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, Wetangula, Marende, Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Marende, Wetangula, 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 Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Marende. Wetangula. Marende. Marende. Wetangula. Marende. Marende. Wetangula. 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 Marende. Wetangula. 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 Marende. Marende. Wetangula. 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 Marende. 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 Wetangula. Wetangula. Marende. Wetangula. Marende. Wetangula. 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 Marende. Wetangula. 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 Marende. 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 Wetangula. 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 Marende. Marende. Wetangula. 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 Marende. Wetangula. Wetangula, 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 spoiled. Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Marende, Wetangula, Wetangula, Marende, Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Marende, Wetangula, Wetangula, Marende, Marende, Wetangula, 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 Marende, Wetangula, Marende, 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 Wetangula, 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 Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Marende, Wetangula,
Please open the second ballot for me.
Now open.
This one is spoiled. Hadi. Rejected, eh? It's there. Rejected. Marende. Wetangula. 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 Marende. Marende. Rejected.
No, there is a mark there. Iko sawa.
Disputed.
No, iko sawa. No, it is completely full. Iko
Disputed.
sawa.
Disputed.
It can't be disputed.
Disputed. Wetangula. Wetangula. Marende. Wetangula. Wetangula. Marende. 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 Wetangula. 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 Marende. Wetangula. Wetangula. Marende. Marende. Wetangula. Marende. Wetangula. 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 Marende. Marende. Wetangula. 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 Marende. Marende. Marende, Wetangula, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, 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 Marende, Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Marende, Wetangula, 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 Marende, Wetangula, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula,
How many marks are those? Swali. Pamoja. 1 mark.
Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, 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 Marende, Wetangula, 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 Marende, Wetangula, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, 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 Marende, Wetangula, Wetangula, Marende, Marende, Wetangula, 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 Marende, Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, Marende, 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 Wetangula, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, Marende, Wetangula, 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 Marende. There's a small piece here
It is part of the other one.
that seems to be part of this.
Yes.
I will leave it to the tellers.
No, it is part of that. It's all of this out. It is, yes. It is complete.
Okay, let us argue that.
It is
Thank
complete.
you. We will call it disputed. In the meantime, we will do the tally.
But why can't we sort it out? That is part of that.
It is the returning officer will say.
Okay.
Right. Sorry, I needed to show you that there's nothing there.
Okay.
I needed to show you that there's nothing there.
I've seen it on behalf of DJ. I've seen on your behalf. There is nothing.
So, disputed. Hold it. Read it. All members, please push behind. Please push behind. We will start counting. I will start with Honorable Mareno. Tell us.
Yes.
Tell us, officers.
I'm here.
Do I have your permission?
Yes.
And hey, Honorable TJ, I am starting, and when I count, I'll return it back. So this is for Honorable Marende.
Okay.
This is for Honorable Marende. Honorable Mbaya, please. You're not a teller. So we start.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 28, sorry, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130.
For Marende.
That's for Marende. 130. Please get envelopes. Seal these papers on envelope. Don't seal yet because we'll use the boxes. We're going to use those boxes. Don't seal. Don't seal. Okay. Tango. We're counting for Honorable Tango, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48,
49. That is 49. The one you've dropped now is 49.
Sure?
Yes.
49.
So you're going to 50, yeah.
Okay. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87. Let's hold on. Right? This is 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130, 131, 132, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137, 138, 139, 140, 141, 142, 143, 144, 145, 146, 147, 148, 149, 150, 151, 152, 153, 154, 155, 156, 157, 158, 159, 160, 161, 162, 163, 164, 165, 166, 167, 168, 169, 170, 171, 172, 173, 174, 175, 176, 177, 178, 179, 180, 181, 182, 183, 184, 185, 186, 187, 188, 189, 190, 191, 192, 193, 194, 195, 196, 197, 198, 199, 200, 201, 202, 203, 204, 205, 206, 207, 208, 209, 210, 211, 212, 213, 214. Tell us for rectangular.
It is there. That is it. 214.
214. And that. Is that the same number you have?
The same number.
Same number? Good. Now we have one disputed.
One disputed.
We have one disputed. So we'll
Let's
ask
agree.
So I'll ask the tellers. So
I think we can agree,
To agree.
DJ. It is okay. Okay. Yes, agreed.
for who?
We're tangular.
For rectangular.
Yes. So it becomes 215.
So for rectangular is how many?
215.
For Marende?
130.
Spoil oats?
1.
This one?
Rejected.
Rejected vote?
1.
1. Abstention?
0.
Abstention?
Nobody recorded.
So let's do the tally. Yes, sir.
Can they register?
Can the officers,
This comes to 340,
the officers who are the register,
345, 346.
Ms. Maritim, Mr. Finley, Ms. Maritim,
This comes to 346. 346, meaning you have 3 members who did not vote.
Mr. Tiampati, how many? Your list.
Okay.
346. Miss Maritim, where is the list?
Susan.
That you are cancelling with Mr. Finley.
So one has not been sworn in, one is sick, and then the other one? Huh?
One is not on the list. Miss Maritim, Mr. Finley Morioki.